What's going on, Anime Loungers? It's Ricky, one of your co-hosts. I'm alongside with Lance and Matt, as always. Today we're covering Your Lie in April. Aired in 2014, 22-episode anime. But before we get started, you guys know what we gotta do. Tradition, my drink of choice, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select. Thank you, Lance, for bringing this over. Nice little 3 sample pack.
Oh, yeah.
Lance.
I mean, just throw this out there real quick. I just so happened to find... I mean, I'm pretty sure this was a Christmas special, a select pack to buy. This was a 3 sampler pack kind of deal. So I saw it. It's probably safe to say that pretty damn sure that this Jack Daniel sampler pack that I found was a aftermarket Christmas deal. So I thought, I'm going to buy it. This sounds like awesome-ass whiskey. Everything is single barrel style whiskey. And it all sounds amazing. And
That's a great pack, man. It's a great gift pack.
Yep.
These are my favorites to get.
We've already sipped off of our first, glasses.
Which one are you drinking over there?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So I'm drinking the single barrel rye whiskey,
All right.
and I'm already a big fan of this one. Matt, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Barrel Proof, which I've never actually heard of Barrel Proof, so it's a good little introduction to that. I'm usually the just regular Jack Daniels, nothing too crazy.
How does that one taste?
It's good. It's good. It's got a kick to it. Definitely.
How strong is it?
130 proof.
Thank you. And I was about to say,
Yeah, it's a...
Matt, prepare your fucking tongue because this is going to burn the shit out of it because that is one strong-ass whiskey.
I will say it doesn't go down as smooth as our scotches, but that's okay. I'm good with this. So.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, like I said, appreciate it, Lance. It's a great sampler pack. Me, myself, I'm a fan of the gift sets. I think they're cheaper than just buying the regular bottle.
Yes, I 100% agree. Typically, a Christmas sampler pack is always going to be some sort of a deal. As long as you're not going to get gypped out on like some stupid-ass glass and...
Oh, the glass set stuff?
Like a glass set, like... Ooh, yeah, you're going to get some tiny-ass bottle with a glass, and then that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, funny story about that. Back in my bachelor days, that's all I had in my cupboards. Scotch glasses from
exactly. I had a bunch of them. Because... Yeah, the Christmas sets were always a bottle, a glass, and whatever, and then you just...
And then maybe like 3 little samplers.
Yep.
Maybe, depending on what the set is.
Yeah. And then your cupboard just grew with every sampler case that you got, and you're like...
There you go. Look at that. Jack Daniels gave him free shout-outs.
Well, that reminds me, I got the father-in-law a sampler pack of some bourbon from Michigan, distillery up in Michigan. So I need to ask him if he's tried that yet.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, how was that?
I don't know. I got to ask him. I see him tomorrow, so we'll see.
What's the distiller's name?
That's a terrible question because I don't remember.
Oh, we can't even give him a proper shout-out.
What can I say?
It's all right. We got plenty more to shout out eventually.
Well, we can honestly say Wisconsin and Michigan, we support them because every beer and liquor that comes out of there, we've so far liked everything that has come out.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've tasted a lot of them.
Oh, and of course, got some Spotted Cow going.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about our chasers. We always have
our chasers. Me and Matt are chasing with the Wisconsin Spotted Cow, and Ricky,
Silver Bullet, baby.
He loves the Silver Bullet.
All right, where are we off to now? Synopsis?
Now it is synopsis time.
All right, so I'm going to handle the synopsis for this one. For Your Lie in April is about a piano prodigy named Kosei, and you come to find out that he hasn't played for 2 years. He sees his whole life in monotone until one day he meets Kaori and starts seeing everything in color. She helps bring him back into the piano world, and you come to find out that she actually has an illness and she's in the hospital all the time, and you just kind of go along with the Kosei's life in the year that happens. So yeah, Lance, why don't you give us our Lance's lessons for this episode?
Sure, before we get any further into the story, let's just jump into Lance's lessons. Today's Lance's lessons is the Japanese word for music. It is ongaku. That is spelt O-N-G-A-K-U. Ongaku. And that is the Japanese word for music, which is obviously fitting because this entire anime is revolving around music.
All right, so I will say for everybody out there, I'm the one that recommended this just because one, I wanted to try something a little bit different. I know a lot of our episodes have been shonen and or much more fast-paced style anime. Mm-hmm. And I notice I have a good buddy from high school that recommended this. And anytime...
You want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, I can give my buddy Danny a shout out. I know he's super excited about us talking about this. So
there you go, Danny.
Yeah, I'm not bad mouthing this anime, but I do want to talk a little bit of shit. So we're used to,
just remember, we are a
we're
a positive
podcast. We love anime. We love what we watch. This is why we do it. But give a brother a little warning, man. The only reason I'm saying is I'm expecting. So we've been watching all these other animes, action.
Yeah.
I'm watching this. I'm watching it with my wife. I'm like, all right. Matt recommended this one.
It's got to be action.
It's got to be action. And I'm waiting for it. I'm like, and I have it in my notes. I'm like, did this motherfucker just put me on a love story? On a rom-com?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. But, positive. I love it. I did like this anime. But give me some warning next time.
I think that's, I kind of steered you guys slightly wrong just in the fact that I didn't inform you that this is not shonen or anything along those lines. So you can mentally prepare for something a little bit different. That's probably what I should have told you guys.
Yeah, I was expecting the piano to go off with some laser beams and like something's going to happen. Nope. It was just beautiful music.
To be honest, personally, I listened to a lot of other people, like years before we started our podcast, years before I would listen to other people's podcasts. This is a 2014 anime?
Yep.
Yeah, so today we're recording in March of 2022. Obviously, this isn't going to be launched for another 6 weeks, but this released in
2014,
15. So when I listened to other podcasts talk, they would talk about how sad this anime was.
Yep.
So I already had the spoiler alert that this was going to be something sad to get into. And Matt, you suggested, not that I had any objections to this, because obviously this is one of the top anime to watch.
Especially in this category of anime, yes.
In a slice of life type of forum.
Yep.
This is one of the most talked about anime. Neither of us had talked about it or seen it.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
None of us saw it.
No.
So we all saw this. And I don't know about you guys, but like I just said, through what I had previously learned, that this was already sad to begin with. What did you guys think? I guess that's kind of a bad thing to kind of get into because, like I just said, I was spoiled getting into this.
Yeah.
Were you guys emotionally attacked with this anime? Let's just jump right into the end.
Ricky, did you get emotionally invested in this or not as much?
I think the story was told beautifully.
Yep.
It's just not my type of genre.
Okay, it's understandable.
So, yeah, but like I'm not dogging on it. Like it's great. Like it was a beautifully told story. I love the music in it. I like classical shit like that. But
100% agree.
I didn't get too attached. It's a very popular anime, and it shows why. Just because of the story, how it's played out, and how it's presented.
Yep.
Very popular. But no, I didn't get attached. Matt,
I will say I got a little in my feels about it. It definitely got a little. It's like, oh man, I didn't think because I didn't know how it ended. So
did you come into this blank slated? You had zero.
All I knew is that it was like a kind of a rom-com kind of slice of life type of anime. So I didn't know anything. Pizza's here.
We are going to take
a beer run.
Pizza
break. Oh, now we're back from our beer run / pizza break. Yeah, so I came into this thinking, it was going to be a happy-go-lucky, like, everybody was going to... There was no sad parts. I didn't know it was going to be sad. So when I found out that Kaori was in the hospital sick and going into surgery and then she disappears, I'm just like, oh, fuck, that's
a no-no.
Oh, man, she died.
That's a no-no.
Oh, man, that's sad. Like, I definitely got a little in my feels about it because I didn't think that was going to happen.
I'm going to be the one to be the Debbie Downer. And I'm just going to say this because I was told, not that I was told personally, but like everybody who talks about this show always says that this is a very sad anime. So when we started watching this, I was 100% prepared to wait for the sadness to happen.
Okay.
And the moment that we saw Kaori with her stash of pills in that one scene, that was probably in like episode, like, I don't know. I can go through my
It's
notes.
about halfway through.
It was
yeah.
like 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. I mean, it was relatively short enough to that we can understand that something was going to be wrong very soon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But the goddamn internet is what spoiled it for me. And they said, like I said, someone's gonna die. I mean, they didn't say that point blank, but like, dude, you just knew.
Yep.
And as soon as I saw those pills, I knew immediately that obviously this main character, Kaori, was going to be the one that was going to die. And
Yep.
that sucked ass because we saw that our main character, Kosei, he didn't immediately fall in love with her at first point, but like he had an attraction for her music talents, and that's cool. That's awesome.
He had an infatuation with her to begin with.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
It was not expecting it. And then, I mean, I will say this was 100% not for everybody. Just like any other anime, it's not going to be for everybody. Ricky, I completely understand. It's like you want action and a good story, not just a really good story. And this isn't necessarily part of that. I know my wife, she kept getting all frustrated because they would bring anime aspects into the piano competitions.
Yep.
Just the whole making it super like dramatic, you could say.
They would bring
for sure.
Every moment was super dramatic out of nowhere.
Yep.
In terms of music. But like, I don't know how to describe this, but like, how can you make music dramatic in terms of like shonen? Because
it's all
I'm not 100% sure, but I think this manga might have been considered shonen in terms of its release dates. That's just one source I heard. I can't say for sure. Matt, can you say anything? You're the manga guy.
I will have to look into that. I did not.
Oh, okay. We don't have to like dive too deep into this. I mean, you can look into it at the moment, but at this moment right now, it was one source that I heard. So
I got one for you. Favorite character, Lance. What was your favorite of everybody in the show?
Favorite character. I'm gonna say I'm slightly prepared for this because I am kind of juggling between two. And at the moment, I'm going to choose Tsubaki. I'm going to choose the female neighbor friend.
The girl next door.
The girl next door. Tsubaki. And I choose her because, oddly enough, I feel like she is the one that had more of a realistic, like, round story. Like, I mean, I know our viewers aren't looking at me throwing my arms all around right now, so it's really fucking weird. Anyway, Tsubaki is the one who has her history with Kosei, has always had this super awesome relationship, even though at the time they might consider themselves like bro and sis. Like, hey bro, I'm against this ladder. No, I'm kidding. Anyway. They've always had this super awesome relationship that you just assumed that Tsubaki was always going to be plan B in terms of like yeah, of course he's going to fall in love with Kaori, and then you just imagine that Kaori was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to move on, and then because Tsubaki was so hardcore interested in our main character that they were just going to be holy crap, there was just so many freaking triangles going on between love cycles.
Seriously.
It was, you didn't know who to root for because you really, really wanted our main character to go for Kaori, the blonde girl. You wanted that to work out because we knew something bad was going to happen. We didn't necessarily know at the time. But at the same time, we saw that Tsubaki was hurting on the inside because she was also feeling for him.
Yep.
And shit just sucked.
And then, I mean, technically, if you wanted to really try and throw that out there, you had Emmy as well.
Emmy? Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Emmy was in love with...
Emmy was one of the rivals.
Yes.
Emmy was a rival who
loved Anima, though. She had an affection for him.
But it was one of those where she wanted him to be his true self because that helped bring out her true self.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. Matt, who's your favorite?
I would probably just go with Takashi because
I liked him.
He was great.
Takashi?
No.
Is it Takashi or Takashi?
Here, let's get the pronunciation.
Yeah, Lance is a stickler about
Yeah,
this.
I'm a stickler for pronunciations. Takashi. You gotta put the emphasis on the ka. Anyway, Takashi. Okay, for all you American people, Takashi is the super lame ass rapper Takashi 69. You can forget about him. Let's just go to Japanese culture. Forget about him. Let's just jump over him. Takashi.
Yes, Takashi. And then it's funny. I'm looking up a character list, and one of his tags is anti-gravity hair.
Yes. And I wanted to bring up, I don't know about you guys, but have either of you played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ricky, I know you.
Sora.
I know. Yes.
Yes.
I know. I don't know if you did personally, but I remember you in our childhood telling us that your brother was super
Huge.
hardcore into childhood. Okay, so you just said it right there. You Sora.
Yep.
In my notes, I put fucking Sora, blonde Sora. That's what I put in my notes.
He, for some reason, the first person that I thought of right away is from Digimon.
You thought Digimon right away?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not too far
not
off.
Not Tai, but his rival. What's his name?
Oh man.
With Gabumon.
Yep.
I know the Digimon. Well, I can't remember the fucking human. I mean, screw the
But yeah,
humans.
that's what he reminded me of.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Takashi is my favorite.
I'm there with you.
Takashi's very cool. Yeah.
I'm there with you.
He was.
Why do you
So
like him
both
so much?
both of you like Takashi?
He was just. I liked him because he looked up to. Well, I wouldn't really even say looked up to Kosei, but just
like
the fact.
Evil rivalry. Like he wanted to beat him.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he wanted to beat him,
ambition.
and then he wouldn't go overseas, wouldn't do anything but stay in Japan.
That was the crazy part. Like he refused to go overseas
Mhm.
just so he had the opportunity to potentially play against Kosei.
And beat him. Like, all he wanted, his only goal in life was to beat Kosei.
Right.
Yeah, that really hit hard. I like how they displayed that. I like how they told that story.
Yep.
About him, like, growing up and just idolizing him because he's basically a machine. Like, this dude's perfect, and he just wants to beat him. And just like you said, for him to risk potentially being bigger,
Yep.
Going overseas and being a big star, he risked it because he heard that Arima was gonna sign up. Not that it was locked down already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back in that specific title.
Yeah.
Right. Because back they were all 5 years old when they all heard each other play.
Yep.
I mean, which we can talk about when everybody was fucking 5 years old because
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit because not when they were 5, but when they were little, they showed like the scene when they were little.
that was when they made mention when they were all 5 years old is when Arima first played.
Yep.
But
when
the last time that he played, the first 2 years passed.
Yeah, the first time that he played was when he influenced everybody.
Yeah, 5.
It was when they were 5. Yes.
No, but what I'm talking about is like, how do you go from the difference from like, okay, we saw the OVA, by the way.
Yep.
We saw the OVA.
Yep.
And then...
Oh, there is an OVA for the show.
But you see the scene where he inspires him, he's 5 years old. Yep. They're still the same little size.
Yep.
Because...
Everyone's a little child.
Yeah. But...
In the OVA.
From his last performance up until like he starts performing again, I think 2 years passed, right? When he, like, had that meltdown?
He was 11 for his last performance, and then I think they say it was 2 years, but I'm pretty sure he was 14 when he performed again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 2 years.
But
so when he was 14 is when he broke down and gave up?
When he was 11 was when he broke down and gave up, and then I want to say he was 14, but they say it was 2 years. So I guess we'll go with 13.
Well, I mean, when we begin, he was a last year for middle school. I don't know what that means for like us Americans. Us Americans, middle school ends at 8th grade.
Yep, I'm assuming.
And that's like 14, 15.
14 is freshman year of high school.
Well, I was 15, so it's 14, 15.
Depending on when you were born.
I'm talking about freshman year of high school. He's talking about the last grade of middle school.
Yeah, I know. I was 15 when we were in high school.
Oh,
so
you're a late boomer.
All right. So we'll go with that. So it really just depends.
But what I was trying to get at is just the size difference from being a little ass kid when he melted down, and 2 years later, this dude all of them shot up, and now they're like full blown teenagers.
Well, I mean that's pretty anime.
Are we at our drop now?
Anime logic.
Anime logic.
Because you go Like, look at any other show. They're all 14, 15 years old when you go watch anime. So, or I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them. Like Yu Yu Hakusho, he's 14. Bleach.
That makes me so mad. But we're not talking about Yu Yu Hakusho. We're talking about
Bleach. He's 14.
You stop making me mad, Matt. We're talking both times. We're not talking. Oh my god.
My Hero Academia. He's 14.
Stop.
Like every.
Hey, that 14 is my favorite number, so I'm liking it.
So it's just apparently that's the age. Like 14 is the age in which you're looking like an adult.
Get your shit together. You're not that strong. But we love every single episode of every single series. Oh. I just do wish that, I love Yu Yu Hakusho, I love Bleach, I love My Hero. Let's just make them fucking adults.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's just make them adults.
Black Clover, he's the same.
He's also a fucking child. Yeah. Yes,
technically, but you have to think. So Shonen is. I don't want to say it's for children, but it's geared more towards teenagers.
That's what it really is. Shonen is for children, and that's
for teenagers.
Well, teenagers, mature, not mature audience.
It's for high school.
They're not watching bloodshed and whatnot. They're just watching some fucking
this anime gets
badass battle action, which is why I don't know about you guys. I mean, I'll talk about Attack on Titan in a little bit. We're talking about
Your Lie in April, and so 14 is just a generic. I don't want to say.
Just typical.
14 is your average age when it comes to maturity, in quotations, and as far as your average maturation period. So that's why they look that age.
Right. So to keep on par with what we typically do.
Yep. So we said favorite characters, but we have, just to go with what we normally do, we always talk about our favorite characters, and obviously we don't have a favorite fight scene, but we can say what was our favorite musical recital.
Ooh, the first one.
The first one?
Episode 2. And I wrote it down as I was watching it, and I haven't been able to catch another song or anything that I liked so much.
Okay.
But episode 2, the song, I don't know what song it was, I'm sorry, but the song that Kaori,
yep,
that she plays.
Kaori, the one with Kaori and Kosei, or just Kaori? No, just
by herself.
Okay.
She was in the violin by herself. She was just fucking
that was
killing it.
Oh, she was. She definitely
that was my favorite.
Oh.
Before we get too much further, what do you guys like better? If you were to describe, not even describe, but if you were to choose between, if you needed to listen to 24 hours of piano or 24 hours of violin, what would you choose? Ricky.
Ooh, I go piano, man. I just love how you can change it up.
Huh?
And I know you can do that with violin, but with the piano, to my knowledge, I'm not an expert at any of this.
This anime was piano centered. I mean, we could learn that you could put the intensity behind each pressure of a key.
Yeah,
so I'll go piano. Matt?
I will also go piano, but I will go with the fact that I am not very musically... That's the wrong way. I did not play instruments growing up because I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Tried playing guitar, couldn't do it. Couldn't... Recorder is as far as I got. When I got given the option between playing an instrument or going to choir, I went to choir because I was like, can't do it.
Yeah, Matt's middle school teacher's like, you can't even play this recorder properly. We're just going to send you to I don't want you in my class. Go sing.
Go to choir. And then, of course, in 6th grade.
Go ruin that class.
My voice was too deep for a 6th grade person, so I did not sing.
I love you deeply.
No, I'm kidding.
Kind of. At least comparatively to...
I mean, we were all there. We're all that punk style.
Compared to any of the other 6th grade boys, my voice was much deeper than theirs. So
that's the route you took? You eventually went choir?
I went choir in 6th grade. And
I did choir in 6th grade too.
Damn.
I did not have to... I think I only had to do one recital because it was with everybody else. But like when you had to go like just the boys,
Yeah.
I couldn't sing. I was not the only person that couldn't sing, but I couldn't sing because our pitch was too different compared to everybody else's.
Matt was in the background. Tarzan.
Lance, what about you? Piano or violin?
I would choose violin.
Okay.
And that's because I have a strong affection for Lindsay Sterling.
Oh, I like her a lot.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh, are you the one that introduced me to her?
Maybe.
I think Wisconsin Dells.
Yep, that's right.
Yes.
Damn.
Full
in my
circle
bug eye.
right
Did you guys
here, bro.
see her?
No, we were listening to her in my car.
Oh.
In the bug eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yep.
So I got introduced to Lindsay Sterling through. Okay, here's the deal. My cousin was seeing some random ass girl that kind of listened to her, and he knew that I was a softie, and I would listen. He knew that I would listen to this quote unquote crap. So I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love this. And I started listening to Lindsay Sterling's. This is back when her first album
Oh yeah.
just dropped.
Yep.
I don't know, back in the
She's a badass, bro.
early 2010s. I don't know, something around there.
Basically a realistic version of Cowrie. Like if she were to
Yeah.
have grown up, I feel like that's what Cowrie would
Lindsay
turn
Sterling was like super hardcore traditional plus a little bit of like
into. Her own style. She had that
Little bit of roughness.
electronica style
Yeah,
techno.
Yeah, she had that.
She made her own shit up.
Oh yeah.
It's her own genre, basically.
Yep.
And whatever that beat was, she had those drops. And those drops made me push to the next level on the treadmill. Like, she had that techno-ness. And it just made me... She gave me that energy to just work out harder. I don't know. It was so weird. Like, not in like a muscle way, but in like a cardio way.
I don't know, bro. I'm pretty sure you're just describing this whole anime in your own personal life. Adimo over here loves Lindsay Sterling.
Okay, well, here's another concept. Now that we're talking about just this anime in general, Ricky, I know that you were the one being my proofreader for my side project as a book. I want to be an author. When I wrote my chapters, I would listen to classical music, pour a tall glass of scotch, and then that is the recipe for me writing the next couple chapters of the book that I'm currently writing. And watching this episode by episode,
You gonna start writing again?
it made me want to start writing again.
Good. I'm looking forward to those chapters.
And here's the deal. Like, work's slowing down just a little bit, you know. Overtime is
Starting to get your weekend
off and
done.
on. I'm there, and I'm getting there. And I was just about to start.
Good. You know
I was
what? I'm
just
excited.
about to start writing again.
I'm excited for that because I was actually thinking about that not too long ago. I didn't talk to my wife about it, but it was just in my head. I'm like, you know what? It's been a minute since I got those chapters.
Yes,
I was going to bring it up. And
dude, it's been over here. But you know what? Honestly, what the push was classical music. That is, I would back then. This was like at this moment today, 4 years ago. I would go on Pandora. Yes, that's how old this. That's how long ago I started watching. I would go on Pandora. I would type in Mozart, and I would let Mozart play its classical music radio. I'd have a glass of scotch on my side. I would drink, and I would type, and then I would go through like a chapter or two a night. As long as I was personally enveloped in myself, dude, I could type all night long.
Well, I hope this anime inspired you to start.
And it did, in a tiny sense. It's just the sad. Unfortunately, the sad fact is that I'm just so goddamn busy.
No, understandable.
But it didn't get me wrong. Like, I'm there. I just needed time.
You drop it off whenever you can, man.
And I'll continue. And as for our listeners, our future listeners especially, when you see a Lance Rome title on a fictional book, please support me.
5 years down the road.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as it gets done.
Exactly. That's all that matters.
One day, I'm gonna get it out. I'm going to get it out, and it's going to be my
Lance Rome, co-founder of Anime Lounge Podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
hell yeah, man! I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be
excited.
Probably the first book I read. At that point, it'll probably be like 20 years, but you know.
First, but all Matt does is read manga.
Hey,
What happened?
that's a lot of reading. I'm just
No,
throwing that out there.
Hell no. I'm not. Trust me, I know. You were talking about so many fucking chapters for what was the longest one that we've done? Like that you had to read 100 some chapters just to cover season 1.
So that'll be it was season 2 of Promised Neverland.
Oof.
So because this is going to come out before Promised Neverland, I will not throw out that spoiler. But it was a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I know it takes a lot, man.
Yeah.
And you do your fucking thing. I don't read that much. Let's just say that.
So Lance, I know you had asked your question, but you never answered mine. What was your favorite event or recital competition? Which one was your favorite?
I did have 2 in mind.
Okay.
Stupidly enough, I'm being put on the spot, but the one that comes to mind is gonna be like the second to final episode is when Kosei is sitting there playing his heart out, and then while he's playing his heart out, we see that Kaori is slowly like fading away.
Yep.
Like I think there's so much emotional stuff. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's so much emotional impact into that moment that, like, she is the one that is slowly dissipating, and he's just sitting there playing the piano emotionally with full emotion,
hoping she can hear him.
Hoping she can hear him, but at the same time, he's playing at the same intensity. That's another thing I wanted to bring up was that, like, he's playing at the intensity for her that he played for his mom at, like, episode, like, what, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there, where, like, he wanted to give up everything. Like, anyway, he just had that moment to himself where, like, drowning, which is also another thing that we could talk about, is him drowning in his own deal was his own concept. But, like,
oh, yeah, we were talking about that off air.
Yeah.
Is that, like, not a regular thing, but is that, like...
It's like a PTSD kind of thing.
I tried Googling it. The best thing I could think of is it's depression / PTSD. It's something that it's a personal thing that you envelop in yourself. And I mean, you can take a personal problem and put blame. I don't want to make this sound like a bad thing. Like if I say that you take this concept and put blame into one thing, like maybe we're too far. I can cut this out.
I could see it just kind of, so just dealing with depression and then, PTSD, you're going to fixate on something and then you're going to kind of go down that rabbit hole where, yeah, you're doing something, but you're not actually doing it. Mm-hmm. And so then he is correlating the piano because he can hear it at first and then eventually he almost gets that tunnel vision where nothing's happening anymore. Like, yeah, he's still there physically, but he's not there emotionally. Mentally, he's not there anymore. So right. It's just that depression, PTSD kind of thing. And it's...
bringing that up is this anime just can be, well, it is a great anime for like mental health awareness.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously a huge thing. People don't really talk about too much, but seriously, that's kind of how I thought of it. Like, okay, this kid suffers so much trauma, his fucking mom beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
His mom did a shit ton of things to him that just fucked him up in the head. So much trauma that while he starts to play, he eventually blocks out
the music. Yep. Blocks out what he's playing and just...
But in all reality, it's not like it is a physical thing in a sense, but it's not like he's not physically deaf or whatever. It's just a mental state where, he feels like he's underwater and he can't hear his keys.
And then it's also one of those things where they bring it up in the anime where the mom just has all this regret where she can't do anything. So then she just kind of lashes out on accident. Like, she's not...
Right, because
you see it.
They turn it around where mid-anime they make us feel for the mom because mom is the one. I'm the one who's suffering, and I just want my son to be the one to prosper for himself. And through a child's eyes, all he sees is suffering, but through the mom's eyes, you're seeing, I want him to be someone who he can grow up to be self-sufficient and live a life by himself so that he's not going to be someone who has to rely on somebody who's not...
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
she's not going to be there for him as he
But
grows
that's every
up.
parent's dream,
Yeah.
for them to be self-sufficient, to be independent.
But she
But
goes
the moment-
she goes to the extreme
Oh,
because
hell
she's not gonna know this. She's not gonna know this child as an adult. So
Or
she
even-
has to give him as many life lessons as possible.
Or even as a teenager. I mean, she
Because she
Oh.
died at the age of what?
11.
10ish?
11.
11?
So you see that regret that she has now. I can say none of us are condoning what she's doing. Not obviously, it's not
Hell no.
a good thing that she did this, but
Yeah, I mean,
you can
go so many angles.
you can sympathize with the fact that
Right.
she's trying to
Absolutely.
produce essentially a life's worth of lessons in
A short amount of time.
an extremely probably a year, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
Probably
like
a year or so.
a year or two, very short.
And that's as a parent, I couldn't imagine trying to.
I mean,
like knowing you're going out.
what we started learning throughout the second half of the season was that most of the musical efforts started happening after the age of 5.
Yeah.
So we can't do. They do a lot of flashbacks to the age of 5 of
Yep.
when our main character was playing on the piano, and then we had the rivals, and then we had even Kose, the blondie, the girl.
Yep.
She was even in the same exact audience. She started
Oh,
following.
you're talking about Cowdy. Cowdy?
Yeah.
Cowrie.
Yeah, sorry,
Cowrie.
I said Kosei. I meant Cowrie, yes. Cowrie was in the same exact audience. Every character that we know as a viewer, it was in that audience as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is in a way weird. I mean, sure, everybody needs a starting point. I can accept that, but like
They're all in the same world because Cowrie was playing piano at the time.
at the time, yes.
And then obviously you're gonna have Takashi and Emi are both in piano.
Who are the rivals?
Yep.
The blonde-headed and the female rival.
You know,
And then-
Tsubaki's the next door neighbor.
Tsubaki's the
and
next door
Watery is just their childhood friend.
A childhood friend, and then Seto is the mom's friend. So of course she's gonna be there, and she's
like a babysitter.
well, so she's not a baby. She kind of is a babysitter, but only
Seto Hiyori?
yeah. No,
the
it's
famous
Hiroko.
pianist.
It's Hiroko.
Hiroko.
Yeah, she is.
I don't have the.
She's
I don't have the thing pulled up. I just have it in my notes. I just remember, the Japan's number 1
pianist.
pianist was
Seto.
Yeah, sorry, I wrote like Hiroko. Sorry.
So she's obviously going to be friends with the mom because she is also a pianist, and I think they said they went to school together or something along those lines.
Like that. Yeah, they knew each other. Somehow.
Yeah, they've known each other for a long time, so that's why she's in. I mean, it's a good way to be able to bind everybody together in a sense. You're doing this huge competition, and then of course all these people are going to be there because either they're a part of it or they're intertwined into the characters some way or another.
Yeah.
And Lance, I'll agree with you. I think the last one is probably my favorite competition, just because the raw emotion that was in it. You have, I know, what was it, that the third one, the one where Kaori makes Kosei do it by himself, or actually compete. Is that the third one?
I think because they were supposed to compete together, but she left him hanging because she had to go to the hospital.
The final scene, no.
That was the gala, so that was the fourth one. I think there's 5 total.
The second to final time he played
by himself because
Was by
she
himself.
was supposed to be there.
Okay.
So, but the competition where he's by himself that he gets disqualified because he stops in the middle of it. The one where he's saying goodbye to his mom.
Oh yeah. That's
I
like
think-
episode 10.
Yeah, I think that's titled Goodbye.
that was the one where Kaori fainted and ditched out on him, right?
Yeah, she wasn't there,
Right. That's
but that wasn't the gala where she was supposed to be there. She just wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
wait. I thought that was when she was supposed to be there.
No.
The-
No, 'cause there's two differences where one she was supposed to play with him and one she was supposed to be in the audience.
So yeah, the
Love Sorrow.
Love Sorrow.
That's the one that she was supposed to be.
That was the gala.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I want to say is the Love Sorrow song.
Yep.
Was supposed to be a duet.
Yep.
But Kaori fainted.
Yep.
Went to the hospital and
So that was after that one.
okay, so you're talking about later.
Yes.
So this afterwards would have been an individual song.
Because he apologizes to Kaori for not going to the hospital. So then he says that he'll do anything to make it up for her. And so then she says that she wants him to join or be a part of this competition. That's what it is.
Only for piano.
Yes, only for piano.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So it was after it was the violinist competition. So technically we were thinking of two different ones. So the violinist competition, which was Kaori's competition, where he was her accompanist. And that was the one where that little kid.
Yeah.
That bratty little kid.
Yeah, the bratty know-it-all kid. Or the bratty...
It was essentially Kosei Jr.
Yes.
Because he was the one that wanted...
You can't really be mad at him, bro.
You can't be because he was Kosei Jr.
Well, no, not even that, but for him, because they asked him, like, to switch times so Kaori can get there. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't blame him. Like, yeah, of course. He was given the chance to shine.
That's
so
his
why
time to
would
shine.
you give up your chance to shine?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shoya?
So,
I think that's what his name is.
the child?
Yeah.
The little
the
kid?
violinist.
Yeah, a little brat.
Yes.
I think he's a brat, but he had the right. He had the right to.
No, yeah,
his
he
time.
had.
Understandable. He
Yeah,
wanted to be
understand.
last because he was the most important person.
Yep.
And completely understandable.
Yep. Don't blame him at all.
So it was the one after that competition. Like that one had a lot of emotion because that was the one where he sees his mother and he's, saying goodbye to his, like officially being able to let go of the negative connotation of playing piano.
Yes. From what I remember, the song that Kaori was not there to handle the song with him because Kosei was always looking to that specific spot where his mom was supposed to be.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of killing it.
I would say that one, or the final episode, technically it's the second to last episode, but that event is probably my favorite just because it's got more emotion than the one where he's doing his first actual competition in 2 years.
Okay.
And he plays all the way through, and you get to see Kaori and Kosei have their duet, even though they don't actually have their duet, but have a duet
He's
one last time.
He's
Yeah.
envisioning it because that's where his heart is.
Yep.
And he feels it. And
Yep.
that's what he wants.
Yep, exactly.
And it was beautiful.
It was. Like I said, I got my feels, as they like to say.
Like I said before, man, it's beautifully drawn out. It's beautifully told. It's
Yep.
a great story. One of my favorite things was I like how, especially in manga, they have real places. They just draw it out.
Yep.
Right? Do you know what I mean? It's like, so they have a real house would be drawn out. So if I go to Japan, I can take a shot, like a picture, and then find it in the anime.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. Bro, one of my life goals is to buy one of those houses. So I can just brag that that's my house. It's in an anime. Here it is. I want to buy one of those background houses.
You want one of those? Okay, well, from what little research that I know personally is that those are like essentially cardboard houses. They're super cheap. They're super awesome, whatever. You can, depending on where you buy them in the city, whatever. We're spoiled here in America. I hope you know this. But if you're going to go and try to expect any kind of similarity with what we expect in a house to those apartments.
My goal is to literally buy it, and that's my house. Like, I don't even have to go there.
I'm
just going to buy it, and I own that house.
That's fine.
Hey, that house isn't an anime. That's my house.
The only thing I'm saying is apparently it's super common for the slightest spark to start a fire, and house fires are so entirely common that's why things, I mean, I'm not going to go too in depth with things that I've heard on the side because I'm not the person. Don't listen to me, viewers. Don't listen to me.
All right, let's.
But apparently, it's gonna be cost. Just keep in mind the risks of living outside of the States.
I ain't moving.
Point blank. That's what it is. Just keep in mind things aren't always what they seem.
I will say I'd love to visit Japan. That is a life goal. Visit Japan.
Point blank, that is exactly what I want to do. And it will happen one of my days.
You should have told your future wife that that's what you should have gone, is Japan.
No, she fully knows and understands that that's exactly what I want. And I told her that's what I want to do for my bachelor party. But I knew that she knew that I knew that it was not possible because I would have been the only one that would basically been going. Because it's gonna be expensive as fuck.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's super expensive. I couldn't imagine.
And if I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna go for an extended weekend. I'm gonna go for like a week or two at a time.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to spend a lot of time in Japan.
And a lot of money.
Japan needs money. They're not making babies. They need money.
Mark my words. One day, once you get big enough, Anime Lounge Podcast live in Japan.
That is a life goal.
That is a life
live
goal.
In Japan. Just make sure you Instagram our social media. We'll get things. We'll get things going.
I will say it was a life goal before this podcast became a thing, and I will go there one day. I'm super jealous of our buddy Ricky, who got to spend lots of time in Japan, and then he doesn't even
enjoy.
Yeah, he didn't even enjoy it. But I mean, the cars too. That he enjoyed the cars.
Absolutely. That's another big perk.
Yes,
we'll make it out there one day.
All right. So to go back to Your Lie in April, it is the artwork. That's something I wanted to talk about too. It's just the artwork when it came to the competitions / recitals, and then just how all the people were drawn. They were very original.
Just artwork in general.
Yeah, just the artwork, the anime style. It was.
I thought the artwork was phenomenal. The first thing to come to my mind about beautiful artwork was when Kosei was playing piano with the cherry blossoms in the background.
Yep.
They did it twice. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they did the same exact scene in the first half of the series and the second half of the series. Anyway, but they did the same scenery where Kosei was playing piano in front of a cherry blossom tree. Shit was falling down. I mean, it was a beautiful screenshot.
Yeah.
And that's what I take for myself.
Yeah, it was very colorful and bright. That's what I enjoyed of it too.
Yeah,
it wasn't so dark. It's it's like the action. Some of the action animes, that we have, dark scenery and this and that.
I mean, I don't want to get too off base on what Matt was just saying, but Ricky saying colorful and bright and dark. I mean, there was so many times in this anime that Kosei was talking about being pulled out of the dark and pulled into the bright.
I'm glad you brought that up because they did reference, obviously he was seeing monotone.
Yeah.
But that's the only time, and then once he met Kaori, they forgot everything about that.
Yeah, because he was essentially trapped in his own depression, and Kosei. Oh, sorry, not Kosei.
Kosei?
Kaori.
Oh, Kaori, okay.
Blondie, the little girl, Kaori, she came into his life, he made mention almost every other episode that Kaori is the one that brought color and excitement into his life.
Yep.
And if it wasn't every other episode, it was literally every episode that he made very plain fact that Kaori was the one that brought color into his life.
Yep.
Which is totally fine. I mean, it was super cool to see Kosei get super confident in himself as a growing child. He was
good character development. He essentially got out of his own head.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he even got to the point where he was even confident in teaching piano himself.
Yep.
And he was giving life lessons to, he didn't know himself, but his rival, Takashi,
yep.
His sister,
Nagi.
So there was that little interweaving kind of deal going on, and it was all good fun for us watchers.
Yep.
She fell in love with him, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
And then Takashi, right?
Yep.
Takashi, the blonde Sora-looking guy.
Yeah. He kind of calls him out. He's like, "You better not." What do you say? You better not try to pull something on my sister.
Yeah, don't fall in love with my sister, and I'm not gonna fall in love with her. So, well, she's not good enough for you. She's not good. He went on both sides of the story.
Yeah.
It's either she's not good enough or she's too good enough.
But
at the same time, he wants her to be accepted, even though he doesn't even know what he...
Oh, here's one that I didn't ask. What do you think Kaori was sick of? Like, what was her disease? What was her illness?
Ooh, officially. Because they never officially gave
Mhm.
a real title to her
What do you
finality.
think it was?
Oh, what's the word?
Cancer?
I could see cancer though.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought at first.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking as well.
What's the abbreviation for Lou Gehrig's disease? LCS?
Yeah, LCS.
One of my, and you guys know him too, one of our
Mutual friends.
friends that we know that we're not going to mention, his mom died of LCS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Okay.
And that's the basic breakdown of that is just muscle degeneration.
Yep,
And that's what I thought this was.
I can see that. I think
Because we saw Kaori walking down a hallway, and all of a sudden she just gave out, and she's like, "Oh, why did I lose control of my muscles and my legs?" Like, she was confused. Like, I don't know. I assume all three of us listened to that moment in English.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was thinking about that. Like, if that would happen to you, that'd be fucking scary.
Oh yeah.
Scary as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine.
So, Ricky, what did you think / find out if you had looked into it?
I thought it was cancer at first, like some type of cancer, just because of all the shit that was going on. The one thing that threw me off was when she fell walking down the hall.
Yep.
But it's still, in my head, it was still cancer.
Yep.
But, doing a little bit of research, they do say that they labeled it as bone marrow failure.
Okay.
And it's just a little...
The only kind of defense I can add to that was that Kaori was demanding surgery.
But you can get bone marrow transplant, which...
And ALS?
No, bone marrow... You can get bone marrow transplant, but that's not... It's one of those things where I think bone marrow transplants actually erased the episode that just released. One of the girls in the hospital has a bone marrow transplant. But, so it's not... She has a bone marrow transplant. I believe it's one of those things where it's diagnosed early enough. It has a higher survivability rate. Surgery is obviously risky, but you're not going to potentially die like Kaori, or they were making it seem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Lou Gehrig's disease, I believe, only happens in adults, if I'm correct about that one. So unfortunately, I think it was just a plot point. Like she was just going to die.
Yeah, I mean...
We are not medical professionals.
No, we are not.
Shit's crazy. And to be fair, I don't think the anime itself officially declares what official
they never
thing
said
was.
it in the
They
anime.
never said it officially what it was.
This is us just
Yeah.
assuming of what we think it would be. And even the manga never talks about it either. So.
Yeah, because she went from being in the hospital and just kind of being like, okay, and then all of a sudden our main character is going to go play piano and he's going to go play his heart out. And then all of a sudden we have to trust that him playing his heart out is him saying goodbye to his best friend, even though he didn't officially say goodbye to his best friend. I mean, it's strange.
Yeah, it was a very quick degenerative disease, and that's really all we can assume.
Degenerative is definitely a good term to say, because at the same time his mom was also, I mean, in terms of our main character, it was instantaneous, but I mean, she was also suffering. Not that he knew.
Did they say what the mom died of?
No.
We don't know exactly what mom died of, and we don't know exactly what Kaori died of.
Okay.
We can make our assumptions, but I think that's writer's privilege. You know, like, hey, maybe I don't know any better. Fuck it, let's let
plot points.
Yeah, plot point. It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It's okay.
So one thing I did want to bring up that we didn't talk about was during the artwork. Did you guys notice that every time you got a side view of somebody with glasses, there was a gap so you could actually see their eyes?
I enjoyed that a lot, man. I don't think I've ever really realized or seen that in a different anime.
I know I hadn't seen it. Lance, did you notice that? So when you're watching the anime and you get a side view of their face, you actually get like a chunk of their glasses are not there so that you can see their eyes. eyes.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. I enjoyed that.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I know you just said this twice, and I'm still losing myself. So I don't exactly know what you're talking about. But like, I guess I could say if you're saying in the terms of when you're watching their eyes, and maybe you can see within their eyes, or you can see within their glasses, a reflection of the studio. Like,
so it was always when you were. So if you were looking at my face, so Lance is looking at a side view of my face. This section of the glasses would be missing, so that you could see as if the person wasn't wearing glasses, but you could see the front of the glasses, and then you could see where it was over the ears and nothing else.
Uh-huh.
So you could still see their eyes, but
So
you wouldn't just be looking at glasses. You'd be looking at their eyes instead.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
But you would see what they're seeing?
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you
well-
would just see their face. Like you would just.
Yeah,
All right, so
I got it
Ricky's
pulled
got it
up.
pulled up. So
You can barely see it. Come on over.
I mean, I think I know what you're talking about.
But right here, you got a small little glimpse of his side view. See how you can see
Yeah.
the gap?
So there's always anytime you get a side view of the individual's face, I think it's always Kosei. So what episode is
This
this?
is the final episode, actually.
So we're watching the last episode, and you get a glimpse of it, because you can see anytime you get a full straight on view or even a 3/4 view, his glasses will be there. But if you're seeing a side shot of Kosei's face, a part of his or section of his glasses will always be missing,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can see his eyes.
It's mainly for the emotion effect.
Emotion, and I think it's more of an aesthetic thing, because their eyes are kind of big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a better visual representation versus
There
seeing
you go. That's the word.
a chunk of glasses and no eyes. It looks better that way.
Yeah. I wrote that on my notes. I just enjoy that little detail.
Yeah.
It's something stupid, small, but it's
Well-
enjoyable because you see it. You see the visualization of the emotions and all that.
Yep. And I mean, we wear glasses, so maybe we're just
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
oh,
there
yeah.
you go. It's like finally, I appreciate that. But you got anything else?
Yeah, before we get too much further, like I know we talked about a lot of characters, but I feel like we left Watari kind of in the water.
Okay.
Like,
Wait, was that
Is it-
were you trying to make a pun?
The
Like-
real friend A.
yes and no. Yeah, we left Watari in the water. Anyway, let's actually talk about Watari. Like,
He's a player.
what were your guys'? Yes, okay. Yeah,
He's a player.
he is a player.
He's a player that got played.
He's a player who got played.
Yeah.
Oh, in the end, yeah,
Yeah.
because Kari was like,
She
I
she
didn't
never
want
actually
him.
never wanted him.
I played him to get close to you,
They got played.
but that doesn't mean that we didn't learn that Watari was fucking playing the field even when he wasn't seeing her.
Oh, absolutely. How do you think he became friend A? He was
Yeah.
trying to cover up the fact that, hey, Watery's walking some other girl home.
He's always playing B.
He
He's
was-
playing B, but he gave him the
He was the stand-in.
the stand-in. Like, we'll give you A just so you sound a little bit better. But we learned obviously in the last episode that he was obviously plan A, not friend A.
Yeah, but to go back to Watari, he was kind of like I don't want to say your atypical jock, but he was just the captain of the soccer team, the popular kid, and then all the girls wanted him, and he just, instead of picking on one, he was just like, I'm gonna
Yeah, I mean that.
entertain all the girls.
I don't know
while
how
can.
much further you can go from there. No, I mean the only thing you could throw on the top of that was our main group of characters wanted Watari and Kari to be together, and then Watari's like, "Yeah, dude, I have like 10 bitches on the side."
I think the one girl was Kikyo.
Keiko,
Keiko, that's what it
Keiko.
was.
dude, Yu Yu Hakusho. How do you forget that? Yeah, he had a girl on the side, Keiko, and like he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry."
That was supposed to be the main girl, and then it was
Yeah.
because it was supposed to be
Ooh.
Kaori was supposed to be the side girl.
Speaking of, I don't know. You said main, and it threw me off for a quick cycle. Anyway, let's get to like the second half of the series, where for whatever reason they just so happen to throw in an additional fake main character.
Oh, the friend,
The
The
friend?
friend.
Yes.
Subaki's friend.
Subaki's
Yeah.
friend.
What was
This
up with
fucking bitch came out of nowhere. in the anime. She came out of nowhere. I know we were in the transition of like what? Summer school. They were talking about summer school.
Yep.
This is the beginning of that. Anyway, I mean, I guess that really doesn't matter. I don't know Japanese schools, but this
would be so that would
I did write down this girl's name.
that would be like a winter prep section because it was before their 9th grade year, so they were doing all the prep stuff.
Yeah, they're getting before the second half of the series
Of the school year,
before the second
half of the show. Yep.
opening. Oh, there's like episode 12 or so. They had a new opening scene.
Yep.
And then that's when you can basically assume that everybody was in their first year of high school.
No, so that's
what I assumed.
They were still in the anime basically starts from their last year of middle school and then ends before the end of that year of middle school.
Okay.
So
it's all within a year?
This is all within a year.
Can we assume the final episode
is
everybody's still in middle school? We officially have not touched high school?
I would safely assume that, yeah.
Okay.
You might be able to, at the very end when he's reading her letter, you might be able to assume that he's now in high school. But that's, the last couple minutes of the episode kind of thing.
So he might potentially be an official high schooler, an official freshman.
Yes.
Otherwise, hold the fuck on. We're still in middle school.
Yeah, it's the whole year at this point. Because
they are in high school. They just showed the school.
Okay.
The other reason I'm saying that is because the second half of the series.
Well, you could almost think of that as season 2.
Yeah.
It's a pseudo season 2.
This should have been a fucking season 2. It bothered me so much that this wasn't an actual season 2. Like, don't bring me into a Sword Art Online, like, fuck you.
Format.
I mean, that's old school shonen.
I actually just got caught up on Sword Art Online, by the way. I'm glad you brought that up.
Good.
Oh, like season 1?
No, I got caught up on everything.
I was going to say, like...
War of the Underworld?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one. That's a conversation for another day as well.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I was just bringing season 1 bullshit back into
But I get it. There was no good point to end what could have been a season 1.
Yeah, it would have been really hard to officially turn this into 2 real seasons, because if you were to officially end this in one season, I don't think they would have had a reason to continue a season 2. Like, what would have grabbed you?
So you would have had to do one of two things. Make some weird end for season 1 to give you a season 2, or you would have had to make something that wasn't in the manga to end season 1 to start season 2.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do that. They decided they wanted to make it just a 22 episode, 1 season show. That I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah, that or fine. When they introduced the rivals in like episode fucking 7, yes. When they introduced Emi and Takashi.
Yeah, and that would have been weird as well. So I think
that would have been a very weird end. Yes, that would have been a very weird end to season 1.
So I think the format that they chose was good. I liked it.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it's very weird because on an anime standpoint, I feel that they could have cut out so much. But at the same time, I know this is a audio-based, musical, lovely... I mean, I don't want to cut out any of the audio, but at the same time, I don't know.
There was a lot of character development. There was a lot of development into everything. So I get it. It was just...
I can understand that the hard part for these developers was to turn... How do you turn classical music into modern talk so that everything merges together so that you can turn a 5-minute song into a 23-minute episode?
Yeah, and I think they did a good job because they allowed for the song to be played, or at least parts of the song to be played, and didn't make it a whole episode.
Of just the song play.
Yeah, because that probably would have been boring if that's what there's like, hey, watch this anime, but all you're doing is playing the song. It's like, I think I'll pass.
100% agree. I think, like I said, it was laid out nice.
Yeah.
Didn't no more, no less.
Yep.
Done. You guys got anything more to add for the anime?
I did have one thing that I wanted to bring up. When it came to when Kaori found that lost girl, so when they went shopping that one time, did you guys notice the like just the character drawing of those two individuals?
Mm-mm.
So obviously, as you guys know, I'm in a bunch of anime groups.
Yeah.
And
Yes, we know.
Can you give a
So when they're
real quick before you say this, what episode ish was this around?
it's towards the end. So when when Kosei's the stand-in and Kaori and Kosei go shopping.
Yep.
And then Kaori is helping that lost girl find her parents or find her mom.
the little kid. Yep.
Yep. And then I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's the little girl and the mom look completely different. Like they look super basic when it comes to just the drawing. Like they've just got like black eyes and just some super
Oh, I think I did pick up on that.
super generic looking people, especially compared to Kosei and Kaori. Like it's just kind of
cheaped out on
the
characters that
background
matter. Okay.
Well, it reminded me of one of those memes where it says spot the main character, and you've got all these just in the like My Hero Academia when you've got that Great Hall, and then you've got the main characters and all the side characters, and then just the people that are never going to be in the show again.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yep, you're there, and then there's the main character because they've got like red hair and everybody else has black hair. Just reminded me of those memes.
Yeah. Okay. I remember the opposite with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi. Everybody had like flat laying like bowl cut hair, and Yugi with spiky colorful hair. And then the concept was spot the main character, and then Yugi was the one that was sitting in the middle of everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
just
that was the concept.
same concept, just hilarious. I find it now that I've seen those memes, I notice those things more often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Lance?
I do have another concept to think about. You guys remember in the beginning of the episodes, Kosei was translating pop music to
Just transcribing music. Yep.
He was turning pop music into musical lyrics for the piano. Let's just remember that this is a fucking middle schooler taking this on as a actual job so that he can translate real pop music into musical lyrics that someone else can play. And none of that went anywhere after the first couple episodes, by the way. Just so anybody knows.
He was transcribing the music into, I want to say the proper term is scores.
Yes.
So that you could play it on the piano.
Yeah.
And it was his way of still being in the piano world without being in the competitions. That's all they were going
That's all
with.
that was. And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But let's remember, this is a fucking middle schooler.
Yeah.
He's like 14 at this time.
Yeah.
He can sit there and meditate, listen to a pop song, and be like,
Different
okay,
culture, man.
yeah, this is B sharp and this is B minor. Anyway, he
a
can
prodigy.
transcribe it. He can write it down.
Yeah. He's a prodigy and he's from Japan.
He's a prodigy.
Look at a 14-year-old in Japan to a 14-year-old here in the United States.
Oh yeah, everyone's already a million times better. Congratulations, Japan. You're better than America.
Anime
in
logic.
terms of the art department.
We'll just go with anime logic.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a prodigy and anime logic. That's all I can chalk that up as.
Yeah.
He
was able to decipher random ass pop into realistic pianist stuff that anybody could play, and that was his job, was literally just to turn into a sound that people can play.
Yeah, it's crazy to think of being that good at piano that he can do that.
Kudos, because I can't. No, I'm not musically inclined as well. I'm just like you, Matt. I'm good.
No.
All right. Well, you guys want to take a quick break, eat some pizza, then Matt's manga mini?
I agree. Right. So at this moment, let's just jump into some Matt's manga moments.
NANI?!
Alright, so everybody knows this manga was 44 chapters long. So just kind of put it in perspective. There was 22 episodes and there's 44.
That's pretty short compared to other ones that we've heard.
Yeah, a lot of them are 60 to 80 chapters per season.
And this is technically, well, one season is technically 12.
One and
try to average 12.
1.5 episode or 1.5 seasons for the normal average.
Okay.
And because it's not your normal weekly shonen, this wasn't on your Shonen Jump, like weekly Shonen Jumps. It's not the 14 to 28 pages. Most of them were from 40 to, I think one was like 76 pages. So every single chapter was 40 plus pages.
Ooh, never mind.
Whoa.
Scratch that shortness.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we're going to be talking about a lot of musical talent, if you're going to be talking about reading, you're not going to be doing a lot of
it wasn't
reading.
It wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of reading, but like the conversations, the moments, almost everything you see in the anime was drawn out in the manga. Almost everything.
Right.
So you
because I guess at the same time for the manga, they always did flashbacks to the audience. It's like, oh my god, these are the best kids in the whole entire area. I can't believe they're playing this good. And they did that pretty much every single recital for every.
So one of them, there was one
kid.
One visual representation. It was the one where we had talked about earlier. The goodbye episode. So one thing you see in the manga is that you see all the individuals that are really feeling, that can understand Kosei's emotions. You see him kind of lit up, and then everybody else is darker, who doesn't quite emotionally connect to the song. So you can kind of see a visual representation of all the individuals in the audience emotionally connecting to Kosei's song. So that's one way that it's different.
And in the anime perspective, is that one?
They're just kind of like, oh, I can see these colors, or they're saying other various things.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Is that when like he eventually says that Kosei eventually starts to see color because he starts to start feeling feelings?
I don't think so. It's the one where
starts to feel feelings is probably what I should say, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can see the sadness of him saying goodbye to his mom or something along those lines.
Like in those kinds of concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the emotion that he's having through the piano.
I mean, even through anime, you can feel that one.
Well, you see the visualization of it.
Yeah,
right.
So it was a good concept that you could see, like, which individual persons were the ones that were connecting to the song.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just one difference, but just a lot of things that you saw in the anime, you saw visually in the manga as well, which was different. A lot of times, especially like fight scenes, you're not really seeing too much. You get drawn in more when it comes to the music, just because obviously you see what the song that they're playing, but you can't hear in the manga. So that's one way. Well, that's a big one, is that you get more drawn into the music in the anime than the manga, but just the emotions you still see. There really isn't too many differences when it comes to the manga and the anime.
They followed it pretty clear.
They followed it almost precisely.
Okay.
One thing that they did do in the anime that they didn't do in the manga is you never find out that Kaori is sick until you see her in the hospital. When they go to the hospital to see Kaori is the first time that you find out that Kaori's sick. So that's halfway through.
What about the pills?
You don't see that.
In the manga, we have zero.
You have zero visual representation of her being sick.
Okay, because in the in the anime, the pills are pretty damn early. Like after 4 or 5.
Yeah. You
maybe
see
even 6. Like it's pretty early.
You see those in the anime, but you do not see them in the manga. Like there's nothing, no indications of Kaori being sick in the manga until after she is in the hospital.
Okay.
Did that change? I don't even know how to word it. Like how you felt about the anime, or how you felt about the manga and the anime, I guess. Like not knowing about
So
her sickness?
I read up to her sickness before I started watching the anime. So it really didn't change anything because I already knew that she was sick. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's how they introduced her sickness to the audience in the anime. Like, it was just something that I was like, oh, okay, I understand what those pills are for because she's sick.
Okay.
Not just she's taking these because she's got like some infection or something like that.
Because she's a teenager and likes to party.
Yeah, something along those. I mean, it could have been. So I knew what they were trying to represent by showing those pills.
Dude, that could have been a crazier output because we knew that Kaori was such a full-spirited person, and then what if they made the audience think that she was such a hardcore partier, like maybe she was taking these pills to, party on.
Well, that's just changing the whole story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we don't necessarily have to see her like raving out, but we can get the assumption that she's taking these pills to rave out.
I think,
and then we would slowly find out that she is slowly degenerating, and we can see that she's doing this so that she can live her life to the fullest potential. Like, that could take one extreme, like, it could take one extreme to the other extreme. But, like, you can understand why she wants to do what she's doing. I mean, that's just one concept. I mean,
I get it. It would be, I could see somebody doing that, but I feel like it would kind of change the emotions when it comes to just the whole story. Just because you go from dark to dark instead of going from lighthearted to dark. So
I mean, I guess I was thinking like like a rave party.
Yeah, I know, but still doing a bunch of drugs is still a dark theme.
Full of LSD.
I mean, it's still sad to begin with, but yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing that's different is in the anime, you see Kaori's phone just chilling. Like, you see that she's not in a room or she's not answering her phones. Again, you don't see that. You literally go from her supposed to being there to him playing by himself instead of with her to her being in the hospital. So when Tsubaki goes and runs to Kosei and then says that she's in the hospital, in the manga, she doesn't even, like, she just comes running and then you see him running away. There's no, like, she says that it's Kaori, and then, so even then you still don't know that she's in the hospital.
Okay.
And then you see that they're at a hospital and you're like, oh fuck, what just happened?
This confusing hospital scene brings me to question, is this scene that you're talking about is when they want to officially set up their first duet?
No, it's, so this is after Kosei is supposed to accompany Kaori. She doesn't show.
Yeah.
He plays the event.
By himself.
By himself.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is it because
that's the event with the bratty kid.
This is somewhere between episode 8, 9, 10-ish.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take, somewhere around there. We find out that Kaori eventually is the one that she collapsed.
Yep.
She didn't mean to miss this recital.
Yep.
But Kosei, for whatever reason, feels like he needs to continue this duet by himself.
Basically, it's for her honor because that kid is like, oh, she's just some violinist that needs to show off and doesn't play to the score. Yeah.
But this is also the same exact scene that is super important because this is the scene that Kosei decides that because this was Love or Sorrow. This was the episode for Love or Sorrow.
Yeah.
So this was when he decided that whatever BS that he held towards his mom, that he decided to let go. Like he wanted to play. He was obviously playing for Kaori, but at the same time, he was also playing for his mom.
That was the start of it, yeah.
Because he realized that, I mean, I guess I don't exactly remember how it all worked out, but from what my notes say was he realized that this was his official personal goodbye. This was how Kosei was going to say goodbye to his mom because
his babysitter said that. Like, she was pushing him to
Hiyori,
play.
yeah.
She was pushing him to play because she wanted him to say goodbye. She wanted him to, because that was his mom's song. That was his lullaby.
Yeah, because Kosei was sleeping underneath the piano while Mom would play this specific song, and now it just so happens that he's the one that has to play it, and he plays it to his full extent. So it was just a cute song, and that's all that needs to be said about that.
But just so you go from the event to Kosei playing piano in the piano room to the hospital, and you see the bandages. So the first time you see that Kaori is sick or in the hospital is that instance. So up till then, you have no idea what's going on with her.
Oh.
So they kind of bring it up, but there's a subtle change when Emmy is talking to her parents about how she's wanting to play the piano. The reason why it's significant is the fact that she and herself, Emmy, is basically another prodigy where she can do anything she wants to do and she's instantly good at it. And the reason why it's symbolic that she's going on the jungle gym and screaming to the world that that's what she want to do is because up till that point it's always been, well, I want to do this, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to do this. And then, but she's never actually said that this is the thing I'm going to do. And at that point, when she's on the jungle gym and screams it, it's the first time that she's actually declared that that's something she wants to do.
Declaring it to the goddamn universe.
Yep.
To be a pianist.
And that...
I am going to be a goddamn Pokemon master. I declare it.
And you're going to turn your hat backwards and throw the Pokeball. Yes.
I don't know. I think Matt has you beat.
Bet.
I don't know. Well, you got some other cards that I don't have.
Well, you may. Cards doesn't matter. I got a lot of fucking knowledge.
Okay, Pokedex.
I'm the Pokedex / professor. Alright, sorry, go on.
Right.
And that's it. That's really all I got.
Okay.
So there was...
Short, sweet, and to the point, man.
I will say, I like always, I enjoy the fact that when they stay true to the manga and not branch off and do all these other things. And it's crazy. I don't think we've had an anime that's been this true to the manga.
Okay.
So the first episode is literally the first 2 chapters. Like, the titles all correlate with the titles of chapters. So that's also something that's kind of crazy, is that how well they correlate with each other.
It kind of makes sense, because you can just tell that it followed along well with whatever it was created from, which in this case was the manga.
Yeah, the story the story flow was very well. Like, you could tell that if this was a book, it would make sense on how the story went.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for the manga mentions. Do you guys...
I have one quick curveball to throw into this.
Ooh. Speaking of baseball things.
I mean, it's kind of relative.
Is it Tsubaki? Is that what
Close.
Okay.
It was Tsubaki's friend.
Okay.
It was about episode 12-ish when the opening scene turned and we got introduced to a brand new friend to the group. But this friend was only Tsubaki's friend. And this friend was trying to get Tsubaki to realize her love for our main character. And in the beginning, I mean, the first, 5-6 episodes or so, we're like, who the fuck is this character? She never gave her name. I mean, in the English dub, at least, they never gave her name. It took until, episode, I think I wrote 18, 7? I don't know. I wrote a note where they finally gave her name.
Okay. Now, Nao. Now, Kashiwagi.
Yes, Kashiwagi. That's what I wrote. I wrote down Kashiwagi is a random girl. She helps Tsubaki to woman up and be real to Kosei. That's my notes.
That's a pretty good note.
I mean, that's her whole plot.
Yeah, I mean, she's just there to help out.
Okay, so what's your question about her?
I guess there wasn't really a question. This chick she literally came out of nowhere in what should have been a season 2, and then she turned out to be Tsubaki's lesbian friend. It's like,
I wouldn't
you don't want me, you want this dude.
I definitely wouldn't have said that, But
All right, you're right.
I will say it was the individual that helped tie the story together, as far as the reason why you've got Tsubaki around, because if her friend wasn't there, then essentially Tsubaki would have always been the person that's like, well, I just think of him as a brother, and that's all it would have been, versus helping create almost, I don't want to say a love triangle, because it's not really a love triangle, but help drive the fact that he as in Kosei actually means something more to her.
Yeah.
Just kind of helps drive
that Kosei actually means something and worth something.
In a romantic way, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So she's not useless. They just make her as a way of, instead of self-epiphany, it's a outward epiphany.
She was a slow-growing character, the best I can say. She started out of nowhere, and then she's like, hey, give me 5 episodes and I'll give you Super Saiyan. And then, boom.
And then,
I don't mean anything, but I'll help you out.
And then giving me another 5 episodes for the planet to actually blow up.
Yeah.
Speaking of planets blowing up, Lance, how's the Dragon Ball Z saga going?
Yeah, where you at, man?
Okay, well, let's start this by saying we are officially done with talking about...
Oh, you all tapped out? You all tapped out, man?
I am. That's all I have to say. Besides the fact that I did enjoy this, and I will venture down that road.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can say that I can totally appreciate every musical aspect of everything that goes along this.
So, to go with your Dragon Ball Z saga, how's that coming along?
Right, so I've been watching quite a bit of Dragon Ball Z, and at this point in time, I am at about the 150
so you're
episode
in the
range.
Android saga now?
I am in the Android saga. So the last episode, let me just start out by saying the very last episode that I watched. So Cell, he's at his first stage. Yep. I know who he turns into. He has not absorbed any of the androids quite yet. But Piccolo had just finished battling Android 17.
Okay.
The brother, the boy, the male version of the
black
android.
Hair and the jacket. Yep.
Handkerchief.
The Hiei version of, just to throw Yu Hakusho into this. Anyway, Piccolo's fighting Android 17. They're pretty much on par, because we know at this point that Piccolo had absorbed the Kami, the other Namekian on Earth. So he is technically more superior than a Super Saiyan. They did make mention of that he is on par, if not better than a Super Saiyan. And Vegeta was super pissed off about it, and he fucked off because he's a fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the current moment in time, Goku woke up from his
illness. It was his illness, his heart condition.
Illness, yeah, because he fainted after fighting Android 19, the white android that was absorbing attacks. Because 19 and 20, 19 was that fat one that can absorb attacks, and 20 was actually Jiro.
Yep.
So it was kind of a fake. They were like technically better than 17 and 20 only because they can absorb whatever. They had their own flaws.
Yep.
Mid battle, Goku got his heart attack deal going that Trunks predicted. So he was out of the battle for quite a while. And for whatever reason, they knew about this fucking disease for 3 years? And like, hey, you're going to get this heart disease.
A week before.
You're going to get this heart disease. And Trunks gave him the serum to survive it. And there's like, when push came to shove, all of a sudden he's suffering.
So he does say you have to be having the disease before you can take the medicine.
That may be true.
So that's...
Yes.
Obviously, if I can know by what number you're at what saga you're in, I've watched it a few times.
Yeah, I'm at like episode 150. That was probably episode like 2 or 3 at that moment. I'm kidding. Because it takes forever to get through this fucking series. Anyway, no, you're probably right. Because Trunks did give him the serum.
Yep.
And he told him to take it when you need to take it.
Yep.
And they were talking about how the timeline isn't exactly how it's supposed to go. They never really touched on that. The timeline's split.
They will or do talk about it, because he hypothesizes the fact that he goes back in time, and that creates a split into essentially creates an alternate dimension.
Right. I mean, where I am currently, that's what's assumed.
Because have you found the time capsule?
In the time machine yet?
Yeah, have you found that one yet? Has Trunks found?
Yeah, where Cell stole it, came back.
Yeah.
Cell.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's around that time where he talks about how him going into the past must have essentially changed his future.
Him going into the past, changed the future because he already came into the past. Yeah, I mean it's a time loop in itself.
Yeah. There you go. Is that the only thing you're watching right now? Just Dragon Ball?
No, I mean let me catch up real quick. Just to catch up where I am in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. At my current moment, Cell has not transformed into his second form. He is just about to absorb the androids.
Yep.
Piccolo is defending 17 because Piccolo knows that if he absorbs any of the androids, he's gonna evolve. So they're fighting at the current moment. That's where I am.
Yep.
And that's that. As for other anime, aside of the fact that I am trying to catch up on all of my Marvel stuff so that I am up to date with Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's
Moon Knight's coming out.
Yeah, Moon Knight's coming.
I'm catching up with what I should be up to date with Moon Knight. I had just started that I need to start before Moon Knight.
Okay.
So I've been watching all the series. Loki, I thought Loki was great.
Yep.
Despite what the internet says. I thought WandaVision was great. Apparently all of the internet says WandaVision's great.
Trying to think, have you watched what is it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
That's what I'm currently on. As of today, listeners, Moon Knight comes out in like a week or two. So I'm not quite there, but I will be there by the time you hear this. So yes, I am on that one. And episode 1 of Falcon Winter Soldier, they're doing a lot of gliding through canyons and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty creative and it's fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of that.
That was like the only one I watched.
I haven't really used my Disney Plus account.
Oh, I do, but it's mainly for my child. Because she watches a lot of things.
And plus, they have like so many Spider-Man things on Disney.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, there's so much Spider-Man.
You
There's
need to catch up on that.
There's all of the OG Spider-Man.
Matt, what are you watching right now?
Sorry.
Man, I'm watching a bunch. Alpharetta,
Yes.
season 2. I'm watching that subbed, excuse me.
There you go.
Watching it subbed. Jobless Reincarnation, because that got announced as the anime of the year.
Yep.
So I was like, man, I want to try this. If the world thinks it's good, let's see if I think it's good. Not that I'm trying to say I'm smarter than the world, but if a lot of people think it's good, I want to see why it's good, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Sword Art Online, I'm watching it dubbed, the War of the Underworld, because I watched that subbed when it came out. Oh man, a couple of years ago, I think is what it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it came out subbed a while ago, and it took forever to come out dubbed.
Wow. No idea. I had no idea that was even a thing.
And then, of course, I'm reading everything. Oh man, there was a bunch of stuff that came out. So, Glipner, I'm caught up on that. I'm trying to catch up on Goblin Slayer. Still caught up with Jujutsu.
We're talking manga at this point.
Yeah. My Hero Academia I'm caught up with. That gets intense. That gets super intense. Trying to think of what else. I'm trying to read like 6 different things at once.
You're doing a lot. Holy shit.
It's crazy to...
I forgot to mention, I know you guys, oddly enough, neither have you two even started Attack on Titan.
No.
So,
But I'm almost caught up. I've watched... Okay, like, this is the end of March, and not every episode in season 4 is in English.
Yep.
I've started watching in Japanese because I've got 6 episodes left in my point in time.
Something like that.
Until the official end. So I'm not far off from finishing the series itself.
So I will say I have watched the first season 3 times and I can't get into it.
For real?
Yeah.
The first season itself was like 20 episodes. I've
watched like the first 5-ish episodes and I think I need to just watch it.
Probably.
Write it out.
I think you
And-
might have missed. That's what sucks, because I know there's plenty of people that give the I'll give it 3 episodes, and if it's not good enough, I fucking quit.
Yep.
Attack on Titan is dramatically huge for a reason.
I
And
understand.
that's
And
all I can say.
It was kind of like Death Note. I watched like almost all of Death Note, and I just I didn't care to watch the ending. And everybody says the ending's amazing. I'm like,
No.
but I couldn't get into the show to begin with, and I almost watched the whole thing.
No.
It's kind of like Naruto. I'm pretty sure I watched almost the entire season. I'm just like, yep, it's a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get into that one either.
No. As far as Death Note goes, watch season 1 and just accept what it is.
Yep.
You can start watching season 2 and just expect to be let down. That's all it is.
But that was so. All those shows came out in the time period in which I wasn't watching a bunch of anime. I was watching a lot of other shows, so it was kind of probably just in that time period where
everything started mixing.
Yeah, and it just couldn't get into it. So I know I need to give Attack on Titan another try because it seems super interesting. I just can't.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. It's done. So by the time you catch up with 80 episodes, you'll be caught up. So
Yep.
that's the best I can say. Well, you, Ricky, you watching anything?
I just finished SAO.
Nice.
Well, SAO. SOA, I think it was Sons of Anarchy.
Sword Art Online.
SAO. Yep. And then
Then I started rewatching Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc,
so
but dubbed.
season 2 dubbed. Nice.
Yeah.
At this point in time, is it English already, or is it?
Yeah, it's
Some of them are English.
It's what, about half?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, that's quick.
So I started watching that, and that's basically all I'm on right now.
I know all 3 of us watched it in Japanese
Yeah,
as it's coming out.
I kind of like spoiled myself, man. Like, so I'm watching it dubbed now.
Don't get too far. We're going to talk
No,
about
I'm not
this.
talking about spoilers. I'm talking about the language.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it dubbed now, but I watched the whole thing sub.
Yeah.
So like I'm just used to like how their voices should sound.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching it dubbed, and it's just throwing me off a little bit.
That's funny
Okay.
because I was the opposite. Because I don't know. I'm pretty sure Matt was on my page. We started this in Japanese. I watched the entire first season on my first run. Matt, he watched it before I did. So yeah, he watched. Both of us watched the entire first season in Japanese.
I watched it dub on Cartoon Network. So I had cable, so I just watched it off of Cartoon Network. That's how I watched it, which is how I watched all of
So you
Dragon
saw
Ball
it English
Super.
your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, then I might have seen this before you even did.
No, because Cartoon Network had it dubbed pretty much when the sub was released in 2017 is when I
I would
watched
say
it.
18 or 19.
Yeah, I watched it in 2017.
Oh God, I'm
Or it
messing
might have
up on
been-
dates at this point.
Might have been 2018. I know I was out of the army, so yeah, I think it was 18. But even still,
Yeah. No, I was saying it just threw me out because I was so used to like the Japanese voices and how they should sound.
yep.
And then now I'm watching it dubbed, and it's still the same effect. It's just different, a little bit different.
Yeah,
That's
which
all I'm watching right now.
of course will be a conversation for another day.
Exactly. I can't wait to talk about it because I just want to talk about it. We need to save it for another episode. Today's episode is about Your Lie in April, which is just a basic slice of life show, so nothing crazy.
Yep.
No, nothing crazy at all.
But we can get back into some action here and there.
Yeah.
That's okay, because we're going to cover all sorts of anime as long as we stay surviving.
Gotta throw a curveball in for you guys every so often.
Yeah.
Speaking of curveballs, I think it's a good time now to announce my little announcement for the listeners.
Yes, let's do the sad announcement.
Don't think of it as a sad announcement. I'm going to be taking some time to step away from the podcasting for the moment, focus on the family and some other stuff I got to do. Eventually, I will be back, and we can just get it going again. But for the meantime, I'll be stepping away.
Well, it'll be weird for those few conversations or handful of conversations, whatever it is, without you. But know you'll be back. So
Yeah, once I come back, I'll share my exciting news and share it with the world. But for now,
maybe we'll see. We'll see how your family plans and stuff go. We'll try to get you sprinkled in as much as you have time for.
Absolutely. So, it'll come down to a 2-man show for a little bit until I'm able to come back.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all right. We podcast every other weekend, so it might be quicker than our viewers might realize, but we will see how time plays.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, we'll just replace you with some super awesome ass dude.
We'll see.
No,
we'll
just
see
kidding.
what happens in the near future, but at the moment, just gonna step away. Appreciate you guys being understanding.
Of course, of course.
And yeah, we'll see where it goes. Other than that, are we all wrapped up with this podcast?
Now that we've given the sad news, we can.
Not sad news. It's not a goodbye. It's just see ya a little bit later.
A temporary fuck you / wait. Just kidding. All right, carry on.
All right, so if that's everything you guys got, all tapped out. That was Your Lie in April, Season 1, aired in 2014. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, review, especially on Spotify. Make sure you guys rate us, get our names out there, get our ratings up. But like, share, comment, review. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. All right, we're out.